I didn't think I was an alcoholic. I thought he was, the bum on the street with the bottle that had no job and had raggedy clothes, but it can be anybody.
And I was 20 years old the first time I ended up in jail. It was looking at sitting 10 years in prison, going to Mexico, or going through treatment. And prison and Mexico were a better option for me than going to treatment.
It was very lonely and it was sad. I didn't feel normal and I felt all alone. And I used a lot of drugs. I went through the whole mess of them until I had nothing left, not even my children.
It was absolutely horrible. I was sick all the time, trying to figure out ways I could kill myself pretty much on a daily basis because I was very miserable. I would drink vodka in the corner of my room all by myself and just think of ways for it to end.
I was self-centered, I was selfish, I was hateful, I was negative attitude, not lazy, not hardworking. It was just a steady spiral downward with more legal trouble. I got an OWI, I got into a car crash.
Losing my daughter to the county is what put me into treatment and helped me get help.
Started drinking when I was 7 years old with a babysitter.
That's all I knew. I saw people drinking. That's all I realized. I saw people using. Didn't realize there was a large community of sober people.
My name is Chris.
My name is Lisa.
My name is Nick.
I'm Tony, I'm an addict.
My really good friend had her 4 years of sobriety and wanted to go to the Olive Garden, and they wanted to offer us a complimentary glass of wine. I said, please take the glasses. And I'm coming up hopefully on my 4 years, but I still have difficult times, especially when it's shoved right in my face.
I went on vacation a week before, and it was a whitewater rafting ride for 7 days. Everybody was drinking. I mean, that's what we did when we got to camp. That's what people offered me. Oh, hey, you want a beer? Oh, hey, you want a glass of wine? Or not a glass, but a water bottle full of wine. That was really classy. But yeah, I mean, it's an everyday society. Like Lisa said, at restaurants, you can go over to someone's house. I mean, they'll either offer you a glass of water or beer. I mean, it depends on where you're going.
When I first got clean, I had to stop talking to some family members, and that was hard at first.
Now I've learned that, just because they're your family doesn't mean that they're healthy for you and that you need to have them in your life. That friends can be much more than family.
I've had to make all new friends at my job and over at the mooring, and it's turned out for the better, that's for sure. I know it's a lot better.
But I still have using thoughts 11 years later, using dreams. I'll remember that last use that was vivid, which was usually a horrible, horrible experience, which helps remember me where I came from and where I don't want to be. But I wouldn't have been able to do it without the support and love and breaking away from family and old friends.
I would like to finish college in 2 years.
I hope to have a healthy young little boy running around my house, and I would like to start on my bachelor's.
I'm planning on being on my way to my master's. I'll have my bachelor's in addiction studies completed.
I would still like to be sober.
Yeah, I'll take that one too, yeah. I would say the biggest part where I get back is at my job. I just try to get a feel for, where they're at and how I can best help them to learn the skills they need to move on and get a better job. And maybe help them a little bit with their drama.
Recovery taught me to be more open-minded and to try new ways of life, to surrender. So daily surrender is huge in my life. I volunteer in jail just about every Saturday and do a Christian AODA. I was taking up offering once at church, and I said, so yesterday when I was in jail, and all of a sudden people started chuckling, and I just talked so flippantly about it, it's not a big deal. So I was like, wait, let me clarify this. It's fun teaching people and Because I don't care where you go or who you are, no matter what group you belong to, there's people who struggle with addiction.
I have sponsees of my own, which I took a long time to actually say yes to a few people, but I have two lovely ladies that I support.
I work at CASA and STEP. I fill in there at STEP on Fridays, and I work full-time at CASA, but I think I offer my experience, strength, and hope. I try to work hard so that the clients and the employees can see that when you work hard, you get places. What I do for fun in my recovery comes from my two boys. We play a lot of catch, kickball, going to a movie. We love to go to the movies.
I believe that's what helped me blossom in my recovery, is not caring and just being a child at heart and having fun with life. And what Wisconsin says is normal is, in essence, killing millions of people, but I choose to do something different.
I didn't do anything when I was using and getting out. I mean, it's like I go disking. I mean, I wouldn't have never done that trip to Colorado down the river. But yeah, I mean, it's all the fun stuff that you never get to experience when you're in your room or shut up or passed out, so.
There are people I have chosen to love from a distance because they weren't good for me. I'm glad that I've been able to learn that and through people in recovery, and being honest and trying to give my kids everything I didn't have. My kids not ever knowing a using mom is a huge factor in what keeps me clean and going. Even when I mess up, even when I yell at them, but knowing that, you know, they don't have to save me from hurting myself or stay up with me at night because they don't have to go through these situations that I had to go through. And I get so emotional right now. It's the pregnancy.
They know they can count on me. They know that if I say I'm leaving to do something, that I'm gonna come back through the door and I'm not gonna be a mess. My one son said to me that he feels like I'm actually his really good friend and not his mom a couple of weeks ago, and I was offended by that. And I told somebody about that, and they're like, I think that's awesome that he thinks of you as his friend. That means that he feels like he can tell you anything. He can come to you anytime because that's what a friend is.
I remember when my dad came to family group, first one and last one, he told the counselors and everybody that I didn't have a problem. Even though that was my 5th treatment, I was on an ATR looking at 10 years in prison, but I didn't have a problem because I was his drinking buddy.
Like Lisa, I only stay around the friends that don't do the drinking and don't do the partying and who support me in what I've become and who I am now. And it works out so well.
Even when tough things happen, like your father passing. When my mother passed, I was 3 years clean, and her brain swelled till there was nothing left. I watched her wail in pain, and I play through that as vividly reminded. But yet, I'm still grateful that I was sober. I was grateful that I was there for her. I was grateful that I could feel sadness and hurt instead of numbing it and running from it.
I work at Casa Clare as a house manager, and a woman had called one day from a treatment facility in Marquette, Michigan, and it was my old counselor. And that was the first treatment I went through, and she's like, I can't believe it's you. She said, oh my gosh. And she was calling just to find out more information about our facility. And she even asked me, she said, would you ever think to come here and talk? And I said, yeah, definitely. They opened my eyes to what a severe problem I had. And granted, I didn't get it the first time when I was there, but it just seems like everything's just come like a full circle for me. Thank you.